So first thing, like I said, I mean, it's December now, but the spring is going to be upon us before we know it, and you'll be full in the season. So fall's over, you're kind of heading to spring. How are things looking for you guys in general terms in Virginia?
Yeah, in general, I would tell you that I would like to slow time down a little bit. I'm of the age where, getting to the point where every minute seems so precious. It seems like we raced through fall lacrosse, and even though this is only the start of the holiday season, the springtime in lacrosse will be on us in no time. I thought we had a good fall. Our goals don't change a lot from year to year. We want to line up on September 1st thinking that we have a chance to play on the last day of the season. And, I think we've put ourselves in that position right now, and we've certainly got a long way to go, and a lot of things are going to have to improve and develop as the season goes on. But we're pleased overall with the effort and performance, and I think we made some gains in that off season. So I think we're in pretty good shape as we get going. We got a couple of kids with some nicks and bumps that need to get healthy that we either held out of fall lacrosse or more recent injuries with some of the things we've been doing. But I hope that we'll have everybody back and be able to start off at full strength come January.
And talking about kind of start. Excuse me, good thing I'm not wearing the mic. Start the offensive end and kind of work our way to the other end. Kind of a general scouting report on your offense. I mean, Steele Stanwyck is back and off a great freshman year. You had some offensive middies, Shamel Bratton and Brian Carroll, who both had over 25 goals last year. Those three guys, is that where the offense is going to kind of come from?
Well, we've been a team and a program that has for so long been so attack oriented. I don't have any problem if people said that I build my teams offensively from the attack position, and we've had so many great players over the years, and just graduated two of our all-time best in Danny Gladding and Garrett Billings. Steele did a great job as a freshman, sort of playing out of position a little bit, playing over on the left-hand side, and it's really even more amazing when you consider his freshman year when we asked him to sort of play on his offhand most of the time. So he'll probably move into more of a quarterback role for us, more sort of at the X, and we'll move some people around him. We're going to be very young and very new at the attack position. There's no question about that, and I think we're going to take our lumps early on, but we're not afraid of that, I don't think, and we've got some good young guys there that I'm very confident are going to get better as the season goes on. If you asked me today who would be playing if we had a game tonight, I don't have that answer for you, and I'm not trying to hide it from anybody. I think it would be by committee for a while, knowing that these players are going to have their ups and downs and things, and then that's a position that will sort itself out as the season goes on. It may very well be that we rotate 3 or 4 guys around Steele. I think upper class wise, Chris Bocklett is a sophomore and didn't play a lot last year because he sort of played the same position as Garrett and Danny. But I think he's probably a little bit more ready than the others just because of a year's experience, and so I think Chris is going to play an important role for us, especially early in the year. And then got a couple of freshmen that are kind of rattling around that bring different things to the table, and Connor English and Matt White and Nick O'Reilly in particular, Matt Cockert and another young freshman who's actually shown some potential. So I think we'll move those guys around in different combinations. Before it's all said and done in their careers, 1 or 2 of those guys may be middies for us. We have some history doing that with both Jalbert and Tucker Radebaugh in the past, but I've told people right now everybody's an attackman and on the team, and until that begins to sort itself out a little bit, again, I'm confident that we're going to be okay there as the season goes on. They're smart kids, and they got bring a lot of energy to what we're trying to do and all, but they're also going to suffer a little bit of the ups and downs that a young player is going to be in a position on a team like ours that plays the kind of schedule that we play, especially early in the year. Clearly, offensively, our experience and our pop is in the midfield. With Shamel, probably being one of the top returning offensive players in the country. Brian Carroll not far behind, and we've got some depth there, both athletically and just experience-wise, in Ramel Bratton and John Haldy and George Ugly, and got a couple of other younger players that have emerged as the fall went on, Matt Kugler and Colin Briggs and our freshman Chris LaPierre in particular. So we can throw different combinations of people out there in the midfield, and we're going to have to be a dangerous team from the midfield to take some of the pressure off that attack. We've thought about some combinations of, maybe playing 4 midfielders together in certain situations. Just don't have all those answers yet, and we'll probably be sorting through some of those issues as the season goes on. But, I think we need to create offensive opportunities in the middle of the field, create some offensive opportunities coming out of our defensive end. I don't think we want to get into the box and battle with one of these other top teams, and 6-on-6 every minute of every game. So we can spread the field out a little bit and take advantage, beat you down the field, and create some unsettled opportunities. I think that'll help us, especially early in the year.
At the defensive end, starting in the goal, kind of working our way out. Adam Gilman's now a junior, obviously some valuable experience he's gained the last couple of years. Kind of talk about him and his growth in the position. I mean, I'm assuming he's still the guy for you at this point.
Yeah, Adam, and this fall I think we saw Adam, kind of cross another threshold. There couldn't be a tougher job really than to throw a kid in the goal, his first 2 years in particular, and certainly initially as a freshman, and we did that with Adam, and I'm hopeful that this is the year in particular when he will really be able to reap the benefits of all that experience. Some of it a little bit painful for a young goalie, certainly. But Adam's won a lot of games for us too in 2 years, and so we feel like in his case he's prepared now, better prepared to lead us on defense and to assume more of a leadership role vocally and to do some of those kind of things, and also just to stop the ball. I think he's going to be more consistent doing that, and I thought he had a very good fall. We also got defense experience at the defensive end. In general also. 2 bookend defenders in Kenny Claus and then Ryan Neislick. We held Ryan out of the fall. He had a second knee operation after the season ended in the spring, and so just as a precautionary thing. So he's back and anxious to get to it, and we'll have him back at full strength in January. I think Kenny. Is one of the more recognizable names, in the country, and again, from those 2 guys, we need both leadership and play, and expect to get that. We have another boy, a sophomore, Matt Lovejoy, redshirt sophomore, who had an ankle injury last year, had some surgery, held him out the year. He looks like to probably be the leading contender to play that 3rd spot. Bray Malphus was the backup to Mike Timms as a long stick, played a lot these past 2 years, ready to step up into a starting long stick role. Kind of a freshman, this boy Harry Previs from Gilman. Because we held Neislick out in the fall, we threw him in the lineup throughout most of the fall lacrosse, and he was terrific. Very smart. Shows the experience that comes with the background that he has in the game, and so he could play a variety of roles for us, I think, and give us some depth as we look at the defensive end. With our short stick D-middies, Max Pomper and Mikey Thompson back, from a year ago, played most of those minutes, and again, a kid like a LaPierre and Colin Briggs and some of these other, younger guys that we've been impressed with. We feel like we've got the experience and the athletic ability to be a very good team defensively, and sort of thrown that gauntlet out with those guys, saying that we're going to need to be good defensively again as that younger attack needs to, we'll be getting their feet on the ground. So we need to be a team that can do a good job at the defensive end, because we may not be scoring goals in bunches the way we have in the past, perhaps, especially early in the year.
And taking a look at your schedule, aside from the ACC, those 3 teams in the ACC, that little murderer's row you have to go through in April. You play, Stony Brook, who's up and coming to American, Syracuse, Cornell, Towson, Hopkins. Again, another great schedule, Coach.
Well, it doesn't make it any easier for me to sleep, during the season. But it's why these young guys come to Virginia. They want to play the games that we play. We feel like. Some of the regular season games that we play are events. We've played in both the Face-Off Classic and now the Big City Classic. At the same time, we went back to the Dome last year and played Syracuse in the Dome, 17,000 there in a close game, and so these are the kind of challenges that we welcome. I don't look at the schedule in any year and look at it and say, okay, here's a couple of W's. You know, I don't know where they're coming from. Hopefully, we'll get a couple along the way. You know, but you know, Drexel's an up-and-coming program, and Ricky's got that Stony Brook program going, and you know, and the Towson always, and Hopkins obviously, and so we know we're going to have our hands full. But we welcome the challenge of what we got coming up.